drink in the morning, like when I break fast. So because I try to do at least 12, 14, 16-hour overnight fast. This is the simplest thing you can start to do.
Okay.
When you're thinking about losing weight, is do an overnight fast. It's not even a fast because you're sleeping. I mean, they call it a fast, and you naturally do this, right?
So it's positioning where you eat at the correct time.
Yeah, so it's actually called time-restricted eating or time-restricted feeding.
Okay.
So that is starting.
So I could eat like a horse at 5 o'clock, but not at 7 o'clock?
You could eat at 7, but what happens? So say you eat at 7 p.m., just you don't want to eat again until 7 a.m. That's not too bad.
No.
So a lot of people eat at 7. They naturally won't eat until noon. So you want to start with the 12 hours.
All right.
And then slowly work your way to 14 to 16.
Well, pretty soon you're not eating at all if that's good.
Which you will, because there's always, food is good for you. We want to eat. So fasting is good because it'll help decrease that inflammation. If you're constantly giving yourself a trigger, that's like people are like, okay, I only have like 1 soda a day. That's the equivalent of saying I just smoke 1 cigarette a day. No big deal. I don't smoke tobacco. I only have 1 a day.
Okay, then that's not good, is what you're saying.
That's not good. It isn't.
We're going to find out what's good, hopefully, here, if there's anything going to be left. Dr. Leah Johansen in here on a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits.
Hello, this is Vern from Advantage Home Mortgage. On your next home loan, remember 3 words: faster, easier, cheaper. Cheaper. It's no secret. Brokers are better. We are on your team, and we negotiate with lenders to ensure you get the best rate and lowest closing costs possible on your specific home loan need. Give us a call, 719-546-3100, to get your approval started today.
Advantage Home Mortgage, regulated by the Division of Real Estate, MLS number 1614819. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, Dr. Leah Johansen, that's taken on the task of trying to get me healthier. We'll just say healthier, right? All right, and I've complained, I got a lot of inflammation in my legs, my feet, my knees especially, and doesn't necessarily mean you need knee surgery. Maybe just some different diet is kind of what you're saying, right?
This is a big deal. Yeah, this is really important to know, or to understand is how food, well, for one, just first recognizing how food affects you. So start to witness. So I want you to go out and eat a bunch of garbage.
I do every day. I mean, what's the difference? I like this doctor. Go out and eat a bunch of garbage. I like it.
And then pay attention. How do you feel an hour or two after? And I want you to just check in with your body. The first thing is witnessing, because we get so used to feeling like garbage
that you don't know the difference.
You don't know the difference, which is why cancer can be detected so late. Often cancer can be detected so late, especially anything in the gut.
Because you feel lousy.
Because you feel like garbage, and you're just like, oh, it's a little bit more garbage, a little bit more garbage.
Yeah.
So you just keep suffering and not realizing that's not normal.
So it's kind of like if you drink all the time and then you wake up and you don't know if you're feeling good or bad or hungover or what. You don't know the difference, I guess. Correct?
Yeah, exactly. It becomes so normalized. Which, speaking of, if you do drink alcohol, a good way to get through that is to pregame with B vitamins. So I put a B vitamin, B complex in my pocket and take that before I drink so that I can metabolize it better.
Oh, really?
It's a good trick, a good kind of...
A good doctor's trick.
I mean, don't drink all the time because it's just sugar. I mean, I love a good old-fashioned, but it can steal your energy. It creates more inflammation and takes that precious ATP that I'm talking about energy
you mentioned
currency.
a bit ago, yeah.
That is you got to nurture that thing. This is your everything.
The thing I've noticed about you is you don't like to stand still, do you? You're really animated. You're really moving all the time. It's cool. I'm not talking smack. It's just
it feels
you're always like moving and stretching and everything.
The more excited I get, the more I gotta move. So it's that's definitely part of it. I'm just getting really excited. I can't stop smiling. I think it's so valuable to talk about inflammation. Talk about why
everybody probably suffers from that a little bit. I just suffer from it a little bit more probably.
Well, we're gonna reverse all that. The first thing that we talk about that I like to ask people though. Why do you want your health? What drives you? Why do you want to feel good? Why do you want to live?
Because I don't want. I'm not a guy that likes to slow down.
Good.
And
good.
This stuff is starting to make me slow down a little bit. You know?
It's catching up because that ATP is becoming depleted, and especially what happens is if you don't have those cofactors too, this is why food is so valuable. Food, this is your fuel. All right, I know you like cars. This is something. All right, so I think we should correlate this with the engines of a car.
Okay.
These are, it's really important that you put good things in your car. Like one of the things I tell people, if you want a trick, is that acts like a fuel injector cleaner for your car engine is apple cider vinegar.
Oh, really?
If you do 1 ounce a day, dilute it in a little water if you don't like to drink how strong it is, but you need to eat it. You need to drink it. You can't do the gummy. Okay. The gummy has there's a biotransformation that goes on in your mouth with the bacteria that you need from the apple cider vinegar.
So just take a shot of that a day.
And that'll lower your blood pressure. Research will show by like 10 points. And so, and keep your arteries clean, because you want to keep, that's with cardiovascular, with heart disease, your pipe, it's a pipe system. So make it really simple. Just think about a pipe system. It's a pump, like your heart is like a pump system. And so it gets clogged. You got to keep those vessels clean.
So it's just like the fuel line on your car. If it's getting plugged up, it's not going to work right.
Yes.
But that, you see all the time on the internet that apple cider vinegar, it actually works.
Yeah, it's good. I've gotten people off multiple blood pressure medications by doing this within a very short time.
Really?
Within a few months, they were like, because especially uncontrolled. This is one. It's not the only way. There's other things, especially if you have uncontrolled blood pressure and on multiple medications. Like then you really have to start looking at your stress levels,
right?
Other things that are really influencing that drive. Sure. Yeah. But apple cider vinegar is it's not just an old wives' tale. There's research behind it now.
There you go.
Super
From
cool.
the doctor herself, Dr. Leah Johansen, here on a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits.
Hello, this is Vern from Advantage Home Mortgage. On your next home loan, remember 3 words: faster, easier, cheaper. Faster. With our superior technology, you can get approval in just minutes, not days. Programs that allow for appraisal waivers and limited income documentation ensure a fast and efficient close. Give us a call, 719-546-3100, to get your approval started today.
Advantage Home Mortgage, regulated by the Division of Real Estate, MLS number 1614819. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, Dr. Leah Johansen. And so apple cider vinegar really works then?
Yeah, it's a great addition to keeping your blood vessels clean, along with food.
The correct food.
So
I can't put apple cider vinegar on my quarter pounder and everything's okay.
Ooh. Although that would probably taste good to like brighten it up. Maybe. I don't know. I like bright things, but negative. Yeah, you can't. So that's the thing, going back to the concepts of inflammation. And so again, that's kind of a Band-Aid secondary approach, right? To take the apple cider vinegar. Because that you're addressing something that is the problem. The problem is the inflammation.
Right.
And so you want to get down the things that create inflammation, which are the high sugar, high carbs. In this day and age, they didn't always used to be like this, but because we've modified our food so much.
For processing.
Our body doesn't know what it is. It thinks that it's a foreign body, and so it creates inflammation around it. And so, to it.
So grandma's homemade bread is a little different than the bread you buy at the convenience store, as far as the stuff that's in it and how it's the stuff that keeps it fresh on the shelf and all that kind of stuff. Okay.
But her bread 50 years ago, not the bread now, because the wheat that she uses
what I mean.
today.
Yeah, that's what
exactly.
I mean.
But Europe, I think if you're in another country, it's a little bit different. We have over 100 chemicals that we put on our food that are illegal in Europe that they don't allow farmers to put on their food.
Really?
So this is pesticides, for examul. These are considered a lot of endocrine disruptors, meaning they mess with your hormones. They can mess with a lot of processes in your body.
Wow.
So when they say to eat organic, the reason is because a lot of these things that they put on your food to make them grow faster, speed it up, they can cause a lot of problems and inflammation, like to us when we eat them.
So if you have inflammation in your, say like me, I have inflammation in my knees. Is there inflammation everywhere in you when that starts happening? Is it around your heart?
Unless
is it all that kind of stuff or not? Not
really? But your emotional heart is good. All the part that is all good. That was a joke. No, it can't. Yeah, it's systemic usually. But
really?
it hits in certain areas more. And joints are one place. I think because it has the space. There's a joint space. It has more versus other organ system. It's just moving sort of through.
So is gout related to this kind of thing?
Gout can be, especially with alcohol. It's more the byproducts of processing the alcohol that creates. So gout is interesting because it's on your feet, right? So, and that's more just because the blood supply too is going down to your feet. It'll kind of micro deposit there. Because you're
kind of settles
that old,
there,
like
like
Plinko thing. What was that thing on Price is Right?
Yeah, Plinko.
Yeah, so that goes. Imagine your blood vessels down to your feet, but they're all kind of the same, and they deposit in basically that same area. So you can have it has micro deposits over time. That's why it's kind of hitting certain areas like of your foot, and then it won't come back up into the blood supply. But the gout, and things that like high protein, high uric acid that get caught in your blood, but alcohol can really predispose to that. So
now I'm going to think about that every time I watch The Price is Right.
I know. I think.
Boy, you're ruining all my fun.
No, this is gonna remind you. I want you to be reminded how to feel good, and that is possible to feel good.
So food is fuel and not just fun.
Yes,
or something like that.
But it is fun. Because you can make it taste good. You got to cook though. Learning to cook, learning to pickle, learning to ferment foods, like learning to just use spices instead of sugar. And that's how a lot of products, condiments are made because they use sugar as an additive for spice. So we need to reutilize some of the basic rosemary, thyme, like have a better, flavor profile.
You're wearing me out. You're wearing me.
No.
It's a Friends Friday. Dr. Leah Johansen in here on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits.
Hello, this is Vern from Advantage Home Mortgage. On your next home loan, remember 3 words: faster, easier, cheaper. Easier, the ability to custom tailor your experience, whether you want to come in and meet with your loan officer in person, or if you want a fully automated experience, we can accommodate any need. Superior technology helps us accomplish fast, efficient closing. Give us a call, 719-546-3100.
Advantage Home Mortgage, regulated by the Division of Real Estate, MLS number 1614819. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5, and my Friends Friday guest today, Dr. Leah Johansen, trying to straighten me out a little bit here. And everything you say, I hate to say it, I hate to say this, everything you say makes sense.
Cool. Good.
It makes sense a little bit, but you were saying earlier you kind of need an end goal. Is that kind of what's going on?
I think it's important to realize for our health, like why we're doing it. Besides just I want to feel good, it is true. And I think that number one, but sometimes you can start to feel so bad you forget why you're doing all of this.
You think you're just getting older or something? You're
getting older and you should just accept that you're going to feel bad. And that's not the case. You shouldn't accept that you're going to be in pain the rest of your life or that you're going to be tired. That's not, or that your health is just going to decline. My idol right now is she is 87, Sister Mary Booter. Out of Washington, who is doing Ironmans.
Oh, really?
And I don't know if she's still doing it since the pandemic, but I mean, this woman was creating new age divisions. So, which is.
Oh, I remember reading something about her.
She's incredible. So the quality of the vitality that you can have, I don't think she's the only one that can do that. That's how I see health, is you really thriving. Just because you're 50, 60, 70 does not mean that you're just going to be stuck in your couch and not doing anything.
Throughout the rest of your days, not being able to do anything. That's the biggest thing with me is I'm a guy that likes to keep busy all the time, do stuff all the time.
Exactly.
But it's getting really painful. So.
Is it pain the most thing that's driving? Pain is the most thing that's keeping you from doing things?
Yeah.
And you said fatigue too a little bit? Or
a
no?
little bit. But of course, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I probably don't sleep right and all that kind of stuff, But it's the pain.
So pain, but actually let's go back to sleep because this is a big thing because sometimes your pain tolerance will be lower. Your threshold is lower if you're not sleeping. So you never really reset those receptors, right? So your pain receptors, because that's a substance P, which ironically is substance P, but that's pain is a pain molecule that your body gives off when you're in pain. So some of these, that's one of your pain proteins. So those, if you never sleep, you never just clear that stuff. So your body and you need to reset your receptors. Otherwise your tolerance to pain.
It's like rebooting the computer.
Exactly. Dude, sleep is number one. So when you're talking even about energy levels, about this fatigue, you've got to get your sleep on board, the first thing to do. And so anything that's disrupting that, which pain is a big one, people will be uncomfortable in their bed. And so if your pain is because you're eating 5 Big Mac.
Actually, I eat quarter pounders, but go ahead. So if I eat 5 Big Macs, then what?
You're going to expect some problems. So if you want,
so you're
to
saying I'm the poster boy right now.